Hey Sherpa user, so I'm really quickly going to walk you through the steps to creating a new campaign with your new Sherpa account. So first just come to your campaigns list here. If you don't have any campaigns created just yet, this will be blank, and we just want to hit this new campaign button in the top right here. I'm going to name my campaign after the niche that it's in, so pre-foreclosure, and I'm going to put today's date. If you want to name it something else, that's completely fine. There's no rules when it comes to how you want to name your campaigns, as long as it's easy to identify and maybe helps you with organization. We do like having the date. It just makes it a lot easier, but again, it's completely up to you what you want to name your campaign. Next, I'm going to select the market that I'm creating the campaign in. If we have more than one market set up, which as a new Sherpa user, you probably only have one, but if you have more than one, this is going to tell the system which market should be used, which means that it's going to have local phone numbers to that market used to send text messages through to your users or to your prospects. So if in this case, this was a Seattle list, I would select Seattle. If it's San Francisco list, I would select San Francisco so that it's using local phone numbers to that area. If you want to add an additional market to your account because maybe you're marketing in another area, just go to your account settings page. It's $100 per month. I'm going to select Seattle for this one. These are the only two required options for setting up your campaign settings. Everything else is optional, but will be helpful for you to set up. I'm just going to do these two, but I'll walk you through the other options. This Podio push email address, this is the email to app function that some CRMs use. This is to send your prospects from Sherpa to your CRM. Again, with the same scenario of pushing prospects to your CRM, you can use Zapier. We actually prefer Zapier over email to app. For both of these options, there is videos, so just pop them in the YouTube search field and you can watch those videos for setting up those options. You can have a call forwarding number specific to the campaign, or if you leave this blank, it will default to the call forwarding number that you have for your market, which is found in your account settings page. The only reason you would want a call forwarding number here maybe is because you have agents working different campaigns and they have separate call forwarding numbers, so you can set up specific ones to the campaign here. However, you can leave this blank just to default to the master one. You can also assign an owner for a campaign so that when they come on and log into their account, they can use this Owned by Me tab back here in the campaigns list to see which campaigns they have. Finally, access. If we leave this blank, all of our users on our account can have access to the campaign unless they are staff or junior staff. If they're staff or junior staff, they're going to have their names assigned here. That way we can control exactly what they can see. If we leave this blank, everyone can see it except for them, so they will need to be listed if they need access. So let's go ahead and click Create Campaign. So we've just created a shell of a campaign. Nothing's in here just yet. We haven't added any prospects. So next we need to add the prospects. If you already have a list skip traced, we'll click this Add Prospects button here. If you need to skip trace the list first, you need to come over to the Skip Trace tab here and start Batch Skip Trace. There's a separate video for that. If you need your file skip traced, just type that into the search and watch that video first. Once your skip trace is done, if that's the route you're taking, you'll then be able to click Push to Campaign and select which campaign you would like to push it over to. I have a file I'd like to upload that is already skip traced, so I'm going to click Add Prospects here. So next we're going to choose to upload the data from a file from our computer. And then I believe I named this Pre-Foreclosure June 1st Upload. So because I've already uploaded files like this one before with the same headers of the file, it already has confirmed the mapping for me. But I'm going to pop these out so that we can see exactly what you're likely seeing as a first-time uploader. All right, so this is probably what your screen looks like. It actually might have a screen before this, just confirming that you have headers in your file. Once you do that, you'll come here. Then it's going to recognize for you probably which columns should be mapped as the this specific category. Sometimes it's wrong or sometimes it doesn't recognize it, so you have to make sure that this is accurate. I do know that these are first names, and this is my header from my file, and so it has mapped it properly as the first name. If it was actually last names, or maybe it's going to be property addresses in here or something like that, you have to make sure that this matches, because you're telling the system that yes, these are my first names and should be used in templates. So, first name, correct. That's our last name. That's our mailing address. That's our mailing city. Again, if it's wrong, maybe this was the zip code, so we need to make sure it properly says the right thing. This is definitely our city though, so we want to go back to there and confirm the mapping. You could have some additional columns as well that are not required for the upload, but they're in your sheet. And so if you don't want them to be uploaded, you hit ignore this column. If it is definitely data that you want uploaded, you have to make sure this is mapped properly and that you confirm the mapping. You only hit ignore this column if you don't need that data. We can upload up to 3 phone numbers per prospect. All 3 phone numbers count as one prospect upload. Let's hit review, make sure this all looks good. So yes, it doesn't have addresses in the name column or vice versa. Everything looks right. So these are our first names, these are our last names, addresses, these are our phone numbers. So everything looks good and doesn't require any changes. So let's go ahead and hit continue. We're ready to submit. Again, if you need the file skip traced, if you don't have phone numbers yet, you should go to the skip trace column first, tab first. So here, this is giving me a message letting me know that this is actually going to charge me. This is because I've already used all of my uploads for this billing cycle, so I can pay 5 cents per extra upload when going over my upload limit. Most of you probably haven't even used any uploads left, and you have either 5,000, 10,000, 25,000 prospects per month to upload, so you won't be charged anything unless you're actually going over that limit. I'm okay with this charge, so I'm going to proceed. And I'm going to start my upload. It's going to bring me over to this upload tab so that I can see exactly what's happening as it's uploading. So I can see how many mobiles there are, how many prospects, how many litigators, and how many DNC. Litigators are always going to be scrubbed out. DNC, this is not the National DNC Registry. This is against your own do not call list. So if you've added these people to your do not call list in Sherpa and they end up on another campaign again, we're going to scrub those people out. But because this prospect list is not an overlap from my past campaigns, there's no do not call prospects here. It takes a short while to upload, but we can even navigate away from the page as it's uploading. When it is done uploading, or even while it's still uploading, you can come over to the metrics tab, and this will show you exactly how many prospects there are so far, or total once it's complete. And from that, how many phone numbers there were. We can have up to 3 phone numbers per prospect, so it makes sense that there's more phone numbers than there are prospects. From those phone numbers, so far we have 82 mobiles, 70 landlines, and 1 other phone, which is VoIP or something like that. You can see some other items here. Lots of these won't start qualifying for any stats until we actually start sending messages. And this is the same tab that you'll come to view all of your stats when you're sending messages out and replying to people to get your metrics and KPIs. Once this is uploaded, so it's complete now, we're ready to start sending messages, and there's a separate video for that. So go ahead and just type in send messages to the YouTube channel or to our knowledge base to proceed.